these are the views that we woke up with this morning.
We're Heath and Alyssa. Our favorite way to visit new countries with our kids is to hop in a motorhome and get off the beaten path. In this series, we're spending 2 weeks road tripping around Japan. In this episode, we stay at the very first RV park in all of Japan,
singing Wheels on the Bus in Japanese,
give you a tour of our 16-foot camper, and visit the world-famous Mount Fuji. Plus, we commit a major camping faux pas.
I want to tell him I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
But we'll get to that later.
Alyssa's getting a little extra sleep this morning, severely needed after the last week of travel, and we're just taking a walk around the campground because it is a beautiful morning. The campground that we're currently staying at is the oldest RV park in Japan. And basically the way it's laid out is you have these fields, different layers of fields, and whenever I checked in, she said, these are where, if there's no clouds, you can have the best views of Fuji, and you kind of just find a spot in the field. I joined a lot of Facebook groups before we came over to Japan, and a lot of the people talked about whether or not they came on a day to Mount Fuji where you could actually see the volcano. And we could not have a clear morning today. You don't know what volcanoes do?
No.
They explode lava.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Up in the air.
And that is a big volcano. It's the biggest one in all of Japan.
I know it does. It puts lava in the air on this night, and a cloud stays all night on a volcano.
Should we go wake up Mommy soon?
Yeah.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Did you get some more sleep?
I did. I was so cold last night. All I could think about was how I was getting frostbite on my toes, even though I knew I wasn't, you know?
Alyssa and I have just been in 6 months of Colorado winter, so when we packed for this trip, we packed optimistically thinking, we're not gonna need jackets, beanies, no way. It was like 33 last night.
I brought my fleece-lined pants. I didn't put them on. We're losing a child that way. he's hiking away.
Hey babe, I have a request. Okay. Tomorrow, I'm gonna sleep on this top bunk. And I want you to come back here.
Just wake you up like this.
And just throw on some bacon and let it waft up to the bunk.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, but that's a cute idea.
Not bad breakfast views.
Oh my gosh, this is probably the best breakfast view I've ever had in my life. I have no exact memories of learning about Japan, of learning about Mount Fuji, but it's just this thing that like been on my list of places to travel to, and now I'm just casually staring at it, eating my eggs. It's amazing. Heath is out there making so many friends right now. We have RV'd in a lot of countries with the kids. We've never experienced anything like this, where there's just kids their age everywhere, and they're all just playing together, and it's the sweetest thing. It's also making it really nice for me to be able to tidy up this RV, because last night we just threw everything in here to get it out of the rain, and then we were kind of stuck inside and it was pitch black and cold when we got here, and we were kind of like, are we doing the right thing? Is this a terrible idea to be in a 16-foot van with 4 people and one of them's in poopy diapers? But then this morning has been like, yes, this is awesome. We are loving it. Everyone is happy. And the house is almost clean, so can't find Heath's hat.
Honestly, at this pace, we may never leave this campground. One of our neighbors blew up this inflatable couch-looking thing, and Ellie and another little girl are using it as the blob and just having the best time ever, so.
Look, this looks like it goes up in the front. I don't see like
where
it's... Oh, I see snaps. Yeah, right here.
Sweet.
I was changing clothes this morning, and I was like, everyone in this campground can see my boobs right now. Didn't think this went through. All right, we found the privacy curtain. We're good now. Sorry, Japan. When we got here last night, didn't get a chance to give you a walkthrough of the rig, so I wanted to give you a quick tour now. So this is the living area. I think we already mentioned that we had them leave the table at El Monte to give us this open space because it makes the entire van feel so much more open. This is the smallest RV we've ever seen, let alone been in as a family of 4. So a little bit of open floor space is much appreciated. We rented this car seat. We brought this one along for Eli. So the kids are separated because they won't really fit next to each other. So this is supposed to make it to a bed somehow, but you probably need the table for that. So we're not using this as a bed. We are using this as a bed. This is easily a king size bed, and it's the most comfortable cushions out of any of the other beds in here. So we all 4 ended up here around 4 a.m. this morning, and there was plenty of space for all of us. So this is gonna be where we're all going to sleep, so we can use the other beds as storage. They're singing Wheels on the Bus in Japanese. That is the cutest thing ever.
All right, keep going while we're happy.
Okay, so here we've got the kitchen, which has a much bigger sink than we've had in any other like tiny van like this. And there's nothing on the counter, but it does come with a stove and a pour over coffee maker and a kettle, which they kept all stored up here. So we're leaving that up here. And we've got a tiny fridge. Is this a freezer compartment? Oh yeah, and a little freezer. We should get some ice cream. That is the whole kitchen. And here's the lavatory. So there's no bathroom on board, but you know, he still said this is a bathroom because there is a huge toilet in here, but it's an emergency toilet. So you go in a bag and then throw the bag away if you need to, like in the middle of the night. But campgrounds and public places all have a bunch of bathrooms. So we'll see how much we end up using this thing. We already used it quite a few times when we were driving and getting in last night. But it's nice just to have this as an option, but no shower, and the kitchen sink is your only sink. And then here we have the bunk beds. They're probably a little bit narrower than twin size bunk beds, but the cushions are really, really hard. And so Ellie started sleeping back here last night, but it wasn't really comfortable. That's why we all ended up there. So instead we've got a laundry area. We've got all the kids' clothes. We've got all of our jackets and things we want accessible. And then the floor / third bunk, as Heath has called it, is now the kids' toy room. Oh, and there's also a microwave up here. And the last thing I want to show is up here, it's actually a triple seat. So you could fit 3 people up here if you needed to, but this folds down. I think you have to push something. There you go.
Eli?
He's on my back.
Oh, okay.
All right, this flips down. This is Eli's favorite part of the van because he loves to pretend to drive. But it's actually really nice because when this flips up, it's like a wall and he can't get up here. But as soon as it flips down, he's in his favorite place. So that's the whole van. It's just about 16.5 feet long, and diesel, automatic engine, easy to drive, Heath?
I drove through downtown Tokyo in the rain, and it wasn't too stressful.
So that's our RV. I am ready to go see Mount Fuji. You ready?
Let's do it.
Okay.
What do I believe? What makes me feel it?
This is definitely like the touristy area to visit Fuji.
Yeah.
There's people everywhere.
I know, they're like on the road.
Literally walking in the road. Everything is in bloom. Look at all these cherry blossoms. Awesome. Nailed it. Everyone's taking photos of each other in front of this Lawson. Oh, Fuji's behind it. Maybe that's what they're taking pictures of. Good news is, you can pretty much fit this thing in any parking spot, can't you?
I had that thought, like as we were rolling
Like a single
up,
one.
As we were rolling up, I was like, man, where am I gonna find RV parking? And then I thought about it, and you're right. This can go in a general car parking spot, which is great.
Let's see if we can fit in this parking spot. Cut it hard. You're doing good. You're doing good. Cut it. Cut it. Cut it. Cut it. Stop. Stop. Straight back.
The beauty of a 16-foot camping car. We made it to Lake Kawajuki, and first stop, let's get some food. Hi. I don't know if you can see Ellie. She's right there.
Yeah. Every restaurant had a sign saying they were full, only if you had reservations to come up. And I saw some people walking out of this one that also said it was full. Like, I'm just gonna see. And I walked up and they were cleaning off all the tables, so we were able to sneak in with an amazing view.
What is it?
Is it good? Sometimes he gets a piece of seaweed on his spoon and he gets mad. He doesn't want that, but he loves the soup. I'm glad I ignored the sign because that was good. That was my first time to sit in a Japanese restaurant.
When I looked at the best viewpoints for Mount Fuji, there were quite a few lakes and just surrounding villages and towns that we could go to. I definitely think we picked one of the most popular ones. There are boats that you can take on the water. There's a cable car with an insanely long line that we had thought about going on, which we're probably not going to.
So maybe we should drive to one of the other lakes.
But one of the big perks since we drove up in elevation is that more of the cherry blossoms are still in bloom right now. So Alyssa is just living her best life right now.
It's the most beautiful thing. Like everywhere, just flowers, and they're like this perfect combo of white and pink.
We spent the last couple hours walking around, and now we're going to one of the most epic viewpoints ever of Mount Fuji.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we're going this way. Parking it into traffic guy said so.
I have no idea if this is going to be successful.
That was our first really narrow road.
Yeah, it's super narrow. These roads are so tiny, and it's very crowded. I just had to go onto someone's driveway, and the car passed me with like this much room. But you would think someone would be like, nah, dude, don't come if it's gonna be too small.
Who's gonna say that to you?
That's a good point. Is this a two-way?
If this is a two-way, then we're in trouble. I think this is what they were talking about, like the stairs up.
Look at the road to go up there.
Oh, that's the road.
That's the road.
That's a bunch of people.
I can't do that.
No.
I'm gonna turn left.
This has definitely been the most challenging area to drive in.
It's just got all the people.
Yeah.
Hi. Konnichiwa. Yeah.
This is a nice little operation.
This is a cash cow.
It's
here.
like theme park parking, but
yeah. We were the only ones who had the idea about this scenic overlook. It's a really quiet spot. If you don't want anybody around, this is the place where you definitely want to go.
Look at that. Look at that view.
We found a paid lot to go to this overlook of Mount Fuji. So we're gonna go see it.
But now we got a postcard.
Now we have a postcard. Who wants this?
Babe, I already know.
We're gonna send it to somebody?
Yeah. Jump. Whoa! I took a knee to the tummy. Look, Ellie, we're gonna go to that mountain. Listen up. We're gonna climb a bunch of stairs, okay?
Okay.
Can you do it yourself?
Yeah.
Big girl style?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Trust me.
Let's see it.
You see how much energy I have?
Oh, you might want to save it, but I'll see it. I'll see it. Don't cross the white line. Good energy, though. We suddenly realized the time. Now we only have a little over an hour of sunshine, so we need to hurry, see what we want to see, hurry back down, and actually make it to the campground in the daylight this time. I didn't think we were gonna have time for this, but already worth it. Only like 30 steps in.
Ellie, you're doing great.
That
was a hike up. But these views are amazing. There is a extremely long line to get the shot that everyone wants to see. So mine has a bunch of trees in it, but we got close enough and we got to see this epic view and tons of cherry blossoms.
2 weeks ago, we saw all the posts on Instagram of like, oh, it's peak, they'll be gone in a few days.
Mama, go, no.
Those were just tricks.
We're 2 for 2 on rolling into our campsite right around this beautiful golden hour. Everything is green and lush and absolutely beautiful. We're doing this, we're essentially doing a giant loop around Mount Fuji. Wow, is that a good viewpoint right there?
Yep. 4 minutes from this campground.
This is huge.
Yeah. They're all massive like this.
Fumoto Para. This is the biggest campground I've ever seen. Look at this.
You know what this looks like right now? This is the Quidditch World Cup. I want to go into one of these tents and it's going to be huge inside.
Everyone is just sitting outside with their campfire or their dog in their lap. I just saw that, just staring at Mount Fuji right now. Gate is closed.
We might be late.
Well, that's not a good sign. How do you get in?
You do have a reservation at least.
It says please complete procedures at the administration building. Here, let me keep driving because I mean this is obviously locked right here. I'm gonna hop the gate and try to go talk to somebody because it seems weird that it would just be locked. But we just drove around the whole area and there's no other entrances.
Wow, that could be our view if we get in.
Huh?
We're so late. I wish we could have gotten here for the sunset.
I'm gonna go talk to somebody and see what we can do. I just ran over here. All the gates are closed and there's like everyone has settled into their campsite, so I'm a little bit nervous right now. I mean, I do just have to stop for a minute. These views are incredible. Also, tonight was my night to make the reservation, so I was really hoping that I didn't screw it up. Everything was like closed up. I couldn't find anybody. All the registration buildings, but I found a guy and he's kind of waving us through. Like, I went in the restaurant. Hey, let me turn to somebody. Went in the restaurant, found a guy, he pointed me to this building. There's no one over there. I like waved to a woman who looked like she was in like their work kitchen, like going down for the night. And he waved me through to that area where it said don't turn in. And he said like check in, and I said yes, and I showed him my paper. Honestly, great call on having the paper printed out. The one time that we're traveling and we actually don't get to the campsite early.
I know. So this little area where it says like don't turn.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. What a view. Ellie, look out your window. I see purple trees just like you wanted. 9 to 17. They closed over an hour ago.
Oh,
I feel so bad. I feel so bad. That check-in ended at 5. We had no idea. It wasn't in like our reservation notes. It's dark again. But someone's leading us to the campsite. We feel awful.
Key learning, we're gonna show up earlier to campgrounds for the rest of the trip.
Oh, babe, what a view. Oh my gosh.
Can you take him real quick? I want to tell him I'm sorry. Yes. Go on the side. I'm sorry.
Oh, this is awkward to grab.
By the way, checkout is not until 2 o'clock tomorrow.
It's just like the total opposite of every other country's camping norms. All right, did you see these in the dark? Grabbed a couple steaks. They actually came with seasonings, which is always appreciated. Can I go ahead and pass you these?
Yep. You know, it would have been nice getting here before sunset and obviously before the office closed, but it was still a really great day.